most suitable platform for you. So it's going to be first an introduction to Notion. Then we're going to be diving a little bit deeper in Super. That is the tool that I'm using to enhance the Notion experience. And then I'm going to teach you how to do basic tracking, because it's always important to know if people are visiting your web page. And if it's certain parts are like maybe gathering interest from people, so you can maybe trade on this. So now I'm gonna switch to Notion. So I created this blank page called Lambda Community Session, and I'm gonna be working here. So first, about what's Notion. I really liked this phrase from the Notion CEO, and it's like their mission or what they want to achieve is that in the next 5 to 10 years, it's like the front-end infra for the world. So they had like a really cool product at first, and they wanted to empower people to write or build programs or build software without really knowing how to code. But the first version of the product wasn't really working, so they decided to iterate over that and pivot, and they basically built what they have today. And the Notion structure is divided in web pages. So here I have my personal home, so I have like a lot of stuff where I manage my life. But inside each page, you have this blocks structure. So basically, a block is a piece of the screen where you can, for example, input text. And you can do another stuff. You can, for example, mention pages. So I can maybe link here my personal web page. And I have also a page for my past experience. So this is something that you can link, and you can visualize these ones. Also, you can, for example, embed stuff. For example, if you want to build a company page and you want to maybe show where your location is, you can just use an embed block, paste a link from Google Maps, and you have like the embed here. So basically, Notion has like a lot of integrations and capabilities with other softwares that are heavily used. And you can have like embeds like this that are functioning like really well, and you can do like whatever you want. You also have other cool formats like callout blocks, for example. You can also do databases. For example, here in my past experience, it's actually a table. And you can have like several views. For example, this is a gallery view, and you can pick, for example, which elements of the table you want to show. And for example, here I picked like the position name, some tags that I added in the table, the stage and sector, and the URL. So it's a really, 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 really powerful tool. I really like it a lot. And as I said before, you have like the ability to embed a lot of things. For example, if you want to market your newsletter, you can also use the embed code that you get from Substack. That is a really used product in the newsletter space. And here you have, for example, a link or the embedded form, so people can subscribe to my newsletter. So there's a lot of things that you can do here. And what's really cool, and this is both useful for whenever you want to build a web page, and also when you want to use Notion as your personal CRM or to give it another use, is that they also provide templates. So you have like all of these categories, for example, marketing, personal human resources, product management. So for example, if you want to build a roadmap, they can provide you a template for this. If you want to build a product wiki, you can also like build a page here that has all of the relevant information. In this example, you have like analytics, user research, and guides and processes. So there are a lot of companies that are using Notion as their like company operating system, and it's a tool that I'm really bullish on. So I decided to build my web page here because, as I said before, I'm using this on a daily basis. This is part of my life. I manage my life here. So using the same platform for my web page also reduces the friction in, or like, I see a message here from Gabriel that Lambda does too. So that's amazing. And yeah, like what I wanted to do with my life is to reduce the friction of using like several tools, you know? So cool. Guys, if you have any questions, just like interrupt me. No problem about that. If not, we're gonna have like a Q&A section at the end. Cool. So if you want to enhance like your Notion page, you can also use I linked these two pages here. The first one is Notion VIP, and you can use this to, for example, include Notion icons in your page. And I'm using these for example, my social media links. They look really cool, and they are not supported by Notion natively. So it's a really cool tool that you can use. The link is notion.vip. I can share maybe a list with all of these links later, so people can review this asynchronously. Another one is AppNotion, and basically you can search for a lot of embeds here. One that I really like is do-it-yourself embed. And this helps you to, for example, I showed you that we have an embed from Google Maps, also an embed from Substack, so you can put your subscription form in your web page. But I don't know, maybe Substack hasn't, let's imagine that Substack hasn't developed this for Notion, so we can create our own embed page, so we can put it on Notion. So basically what you can do here is also you embed blog, click the link, and what this is doing is creating like an HTML that has embedded the embed that you want to put on here. And it's also useful whenever like the embed doesn't exist. So one way that you can try if there's an embed that works or not on Notion is that you can just copy and paste a link here, and Notion will try to generate embed. If it doesn't exist, you can use like this action tool to do that. And they also have like a lot of cool integrations. I haven't tried them all, but basically if you have this page, you can just do the work yourself. So basically this is it. You can create your web page as simple as this. And what you can do here is share it on the web, and you get a link here, and it's accessible by everybody on the web, you know. So maybe I can share it in the chat so you can check it out. But if you see, we have like this long, even though it's branded, it says mrgonza.notion.site, it still have like a URL that is really long and maybe not that shareable at all. So because of that, and also because of other options and other features and functionalities that I needed for my page, I decided to do a little research about like what else can we do with Notion. And I found this tool called Super. And basically you can create websites using Notion as the CMS, as the content management system. But what Super does is they give you an interface where you can also tweak some stuff inside Notion without using code. They basically use the API to do some changes. For example, you can create themes or templates. You can change like the padding or the height or width of the cards for example, this gallery view, you know. You can change, for example, the borders so they are more rounded instead of pointy. You can change the sizes. You can change also the fonts that you're using for the web page. So it gives like an extra layer of personalization that Notion currently doesn't have. And they also allow you to use your like a custom URL or a custom domain. That Notion currently you can do that, but it works with redirection, and it also generates like pretty URLs. So you can have your site that is, for example, in mine it's gonzalosaenz.me. If you want to go to my past experience, it changes to work experience, you know. So it gives you like a lot more tools so you can build a better website. So what I'll teach you now about Super and what I've showed you with Notion, like everything can be achieved with the free version of both products. So that's really cool. The only thing that you need to pay for is for your custom domain, both for having it and also for using it in Super. But I don't know, it's a really cool product. There are another one that is called Potion. I haven't done extensive research here, so maybe it's something that you guys can explore too. So I'm gonna be using Super for like explaining the rest of the parts that you can maybe tweak on your website using Super. What I really like about Super also is that they have a lot of templates. Some of them are paid, some of them are free. And if you see, you can achieve like a lot of cool stuff that maybe at a first glance you might think that couldn't be achievable with Notion. But if you see, these are like the elements that we saw before. This is the gallery view of a table. These are the tags. But as you can see here, there's a layer of personalization on what you can do here. This is another example. Like this doesn't look like Notion at all. I wanted to keep it more like Notion-alike in my case, but there are a lot of things that you can accomplish. And also another cool thing about Super is that they have a community. It's hosted in circle.so, and you can basically ask questions and like get updates from the product. And also there's a showcase part where you can like put your web page and you can find maybe some other inspiration of people that has done other web pages in Super. This is one example. I don't really like this one that much. Here is another one. And given that it's a community, you can like reach out to these people. Some of them are like pretty active. You can also give feedback about the product, and like the founders of the company like answer to you and can give you like more guidelines on how to solve a bug, or maybe when the feature you're requesting is going to be available for everyone.
Sorry, I see. Just wanted to flag the fact that you're only showing the Notion page, so you might be scrolling through Super, but we can't see it yet.
Cool. Okay. Okay, going again. These are the Super templates. Yeah. So we have like really cool templates that are not looking really like Notion. This is another one. So as I said before, you have free templates, you have paid templates. You can achieve like really cool stuff, even for a store-like experiences. And the other thing that I wanted to show is the community. So you have like several channels. You can ask questions. You can showcase the web pages that you've been doing. So I'm going to click, well, this one is not updated. But for example, this is an example of a web page done by one of the users of Super. So it's really cool. I don't know if it's like the best tool out there to make your app, but definitely it's been like really useful for me. Cool. So now I'm gonna walk you through Super. Basically creating a site is really easy. You click here on new site. you can create a free site. I have the pro version. That's why it gives me the option to upgrade to create an upgraded site. It has like a set of different features that help you with SEO and visibility on search engines. But if you just want a quick link that you can share to people and you don't care that much about visibility or being found on Google, a free site is the way to go. And maybe we can call this Land a community session. And I can use the link that we already got in Notion. This is the one that I shared through the chat. So basically, you click on create. And there it is. You have a site. You have like a preview here on desktop. You can preview how it looks on mobile. In case you want to I don't know, do some interventions there to make sure that the responsive experience is the right one. And here you can change, like, for example, the URL, the site name. You can also set up the domain. So the domain by default is like pagename.super.site. So that's why I say that the free version is shareable and it's useful for everyone. You don't need to pay for this. And for example, my webpage is gonza.super.site, and you can access it even if you're not using the custom domain. So that's really cool. And here you have like other options that, as I said before, help you kind of enhance the experience that you're providing with Notion, and acting as this middle layer that can help you to build a better web page. So you have this pages option, and what this does is it detects all of the links that you have in your Notion page, and you can edit the SEO. You can put a title, a description, you can put keywords, you can upload an image. So whenever you share this on social media, you also have a preview of the site, and you can do this for every page. You can create like parent and child pages for your site. Also, what you can do is to edit the design, and you can create a new theme. We can call this like Lambda Community. And here you can edit the colors, background text, the navbar colors, the footer colors, the Notion colors. Notion have some options for text and backgrounds by default. These are the options, but basically what you can do is, for example, change yellow. So whenever you use a yellow background in Notion, it changes to the color that is set up here in Super. You can also do some other edits in databases, in scroll bars, so you can really customize your site. You can change the fonts. You can change some options in the layout. For example, the size of the containers. I'm going to put it on desktop so you can check it out. So you can do this like really quickly and easily. You can also change the column gaps, the paddings between like objects. You can round edges. So there are a lot of room for customization here. So what you can do is to edit one of these parts. It's, as I said before, like really easy. The heavy lifting is going to be done in Notion about like adding blocks, adding content. And Super is only like the layer for enhancing the designs that you have there. Cool. Another cool stuff about Super is that you can have a navbar and a footer. And you can, for example, see that in my site. It has like this header. You can add a button with a CTA that you can customize. And in my case, it's book time with me. And this goes to a Calendly page that has my availability. And also you have like this menu in case anyone wants to visit another page like really easily. So this also, another advantage of Super is that it helps with the navigation too. You have also, I don't use the footers because I don't like that so much the design, but basically you can also put your social media, for example, buttons here. So you can add links here. For example, I don't know, past experience, and you can add this one, and it shows in the footer. And as I said before, you can add socials, for example, LinkedIn. Well, somehow it's not letting me. I think I missed one part of the URL, and it adds a social media button. So it's really cool. In my case, it's not fitting the design that I wanted for my website, but it's like great that you can know that it's also a possibility for you. Cool. Other options that are more for the web page is that you can set the site language. This helps with SEO. The site favicon, so you can have like an icon here, maybe your logo. It can be your company logo or your personal logo. I haven't uploaded this, so I have the super logo here. It also looks really cool. And you can enable search engine indexing also, but whenever you click on enable, it will pop up a paywall, so you will have to pay for that. So as I said before, it's really cool for sharing the link. You can put it on maybe on your LinkedIn or on a community profile that you have that asks for a web page, but it's not going to appear in Google if you don't pay. And finally, as I said before, and now I'm going to switch to my personal website because this has like more things that are changed. You can also set up basic tracking, so you can see if you have like any visits, and if you know how to set up events, you can also start tracking like more advanced usage of your website. So basically what I've done is I'm using Google Tag Manager. And what I did is I created a container. It's like really easy. When you land on the Tag Manager page, you go to accounts and you can create an account. Here I created Lambda Community Session. And basically what this creates is a workspace that is connected with your website. And you can also click here and you will get two types of code, the head of the page and the body of the page. So basically you click here and you can paste the code here in head and body. And what Google Tag Manager enables to do is to create what we call tags. That's why it's called Tag Manager. And in this case, and I'm going to go to my personal website one, you can create a tag to trigger Google Analytics tracking. And it's a really basic track. You just click on GA4 configuration. You need a measurement ID that I'm going to tell you how to find right now. And the only other thing that you need is to create a trigger. In this case, it's all pages. So basically, it will be triggered in all pages. And what I got here is that I'm now capable of seeing like the visits and all of other cool data about people that are visiting my webpage that I can show you later after this. So to get your measurement ID, what you need to do is to go to analytics.google.com, sign in, and go to admin. You can create a property inside the account. This is called Lambda Community Session. I have my other site here. And what you need to do is to create a data stream. It will give you an option to create one in web. And it will ask you for the URL. And here you have the measurement ID. So you just click on copy, go to Tag Manager, put it here. And whenever this is ready, you will be able to submit this version of Tag Manager. So whenever you create a tag, you need to publish it in your web page. So it's a really straightforward process. I couldn't cover the details now because of time, but feel free to reach out through DM in the community. There are a lot of tutorials on how to create a Google Analytics account and how to create a Google Tag Manager account. So that's why I'm covering this like on a really high level. And with that, this is like ready to be shared, to be tracked. And for example, here, maybe I can show you that in the case of my webpage, I'm also able to track like visits over days. And In this case, I think we have like one user that is maybe me. And on the reports part, you can also have a snapshot of like usage, also the countries that my webpage is receiving visits from, mainly from Peru, Mexico, India, Spain, and the United States. And well, that's it. I don't know, guys, if you have any questions about this. I don't know if this was useful, just let me know.
Any questions from the audience?
And as a first note, it was super useful for me.
Cool. There's a question from Yul. Can you access all of this on the free version of Notion? Yes, you can. What I actually paid for the annual version because I would say the only part that is not included in the free version is the ability to upload like big images. So if you want to upload, for example, high quality images for your portfolio or something like that, you need to actually pay for the Notion Pro version.
Amazing.
Cool.
I can maybe jump in and ask one question, Gonza, and it's if you can maybe share, I guess, share your screen again and go through, I guess, the biggest sections that you consider important when you're making a landing page on your personal portfolio. So maybe just like go through your example and just cover a little bit of what you thought was like very important to just showcase. A lot of people here are like doing consulting for the first time, so I think like they might be willing to try this tool first.
Cool. Can you see my Notion screen? Or
yep.
Cool. Okay. So what I must say is that I haven't made this like as a full 100% consulting page or to showcase my advisory services, because like right now my main goal is to find another full-time job. But also what I don't want to get lost is that I also do some consulting work, you know? So I think that one thing that is really important is to show who you are and how can you be, you know, reach out to. So a really short intro really, I think that is really important. I found also really important, like to share my current focus so people can know that I'm job searching. So if anybody lands on this page, they will be able to see what I'm looking for. But also, I don't know, maybe if we are building a consulting page, maybe instead of current focus, what we want to showcase is like the niche or the expertise, or maybe a snapshot of the experience that the person has. So maybe at a first glance, people can see that, hey, this person is cool, they can help me with this, and they also have this experience, you know? So I did a more detailed view on my past experience. What I want to do now, and this is something that I want to build, is to maybe add more details about what I did at On Deck, you know, maybe some projects that I've done. Also, I'm kind of asking for recommendations on LinkedIn. So I wanted to create a seen on LinkedIn section so I can put all of the recommendations that I have, you know, so I can maybe not only show that there, but also on my personal webpage. I think that's like really important. And so I put the independent consulting as a side project. So basically I copy paste my niche statement that you guys helped me to write. And I also added some past engagements. So I've done some work with an EdTech. Also, I helped a FMCG company from Peru to like build their team for the digital transformation that they want to accomplish. And also I've done some micro consulting work. So what I wanted to add here are maybe referrals or recommendations, you know? So it can be so people can see only that, so they can see my projects or my past engagements and the impact that I had or whatever I helped the companies to achieve. But also they can have some social proof that these people were actually like happy with the work I've done. You know, I think that's also really important. So I would say that what is really cool about Notion is that you also have these toggles, so you can maybe hide some information that you might not want to interfere with the whole, landing page and the whole information flow that you want to give. But if people want more details, that they can just like click about it. Yeah, so I would say those are like the main parts that I would say are on the consulting side. And yeah, the link to availability. You want people to find some time with you. I also segmented my Calendly pages, so I can have like the free version of my Calendly here. 30-minute call to figure out if people want to work with me and have a sense of what their problems are, and keeping other monetized sections like private, so I can share with them whenever we decide to engage on a consulting project. I don't know if that answers the question.
For sure. And I think that the biggest thing was that you started with just like saying what's the purpose. And I think like the main purpose is going to drive the structure of your page. I guess you covered a lot of ground on like things or good candidates to include. If this were a page mostly focused for consulting, obviously like social links are important, but I guess like starting with a niche, you cover that. That's very relevant. Just past experience, very focused on your wins, right? On what's directly you impacted in your past work experience, right? So like specific results you drove. And also the biggest thing is just social proof, right? So once you have any sort of testimonials, like that's very, very useful to showcase. So yeah, definitely include a section for that. And I guess the other thing that's important is also just the services you offer, right? So like be very clear. Yep. And those need to be obviously very tied to your niche, but sometimes you could cover a lot more ground if you have a section on the services you're willing to offer, right?
Cool.
But yeah, mostly that, but this is super useful, Gonza. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much for the invitation again. Really, I really feel honored to be the first host for the community sessions, and I hope that we have other members that want to do some other sessions so we can learn from each other.
Thank you, Gonza. I'll take a stab at doing my consulting page in Notion, so I'll be asking you lots of questions. It's been long overdue.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Pedro.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Gonzalo. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.